Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day 4 of my 31-day Halloween horror, wait, how did I put it? Halloween horror movie review challenge. But yeah, this is day 4, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. My second day, I did a review on Evil Dead, the 2013, and if you know you can check my review on that. After doing that review, I was like, I should do Evil Dead Rise right after it. I mean, that is the movie that continues right after the 2013 one. And I didn't do it for the next one. I decided to do Day Shift, which was more of a lighthearted horror movie, like an action horror movie. But now, with day 4, I decided, you know what? Let me turn down the lights. Let me get myself in the mood. Let's do this. Let's check out Evil Dead Rise again. I haven't seen it in a minute. But I remember the first time I saw it, and I think I did a review on it a couple years back. I think the movie came out in 2023. I believe I did a review on it then, and I enjoyed it. But after my experience with the 2013 movie, at like 2 days ago when I did that review, my experience was I haven't seen Evil Dead in 10 years, that one. And after seeing it 10 years later, I enjoyed it way more than I remember I did back then. So after that excitement, and I gave that a 10 out of 10, I was like, man, what would I give Evil Dead Rise? Because I really enjoyed it. I don't think I ever said Evil Dead Rise was a 10 out of 10. But I was curious to see now the second viewing. How would I feel? Will it be a 10 out of 10 like the 2013 one or the first one? Or will it be just where it's at or worse? So now, let me give my review and thoughts on it. So Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, is dealing with some personal issues. And these personal issues leads her to go back to her family, which is her sister and her 3 kids. So now the family's all together, rekindling what they lost because they didn't have much of a relationship before. But due to personal problems, which you can watch the movie to figure out what that is, it brings them together. Now, the biggest issue that happens is in this apartment complex, there was an earthquake. And this earthquake opened the ground to their garage. And in this floor, one of the kids noticed that there was this little secret room down there that nobody knew. And you could tell it was old and it was there years before the apartment was built. And just like kids, curiosity gets one of them. One of the kids was smart. He was like, leave that stuff alone. The kid did listen, went into that secret room. And all this voodoo witchcraft stuff was in there. And there's this book, just like the 2013 movie. There's this book that's just sitting there, wrapped, protected. You know, it doesn't say it in big bold words, but you can tell how it was closed up, that you shouldn't open it. But, you know, kids, that curiosity, man. One of the kids decided to take that book. A piece of the book stung them, and blood came out and dripped on the book. And that opened it. So blood opened it. I say that to say this. When something like that happens, leave the book alone. Don't read it. Don't do anything. If blood is the reason a book is open, leave it alone. But hey, it's a movie. So anyway, curious keeps building up on this kid more and more. So now after that weirdness, the kid wants to know, what is it saying? Because there's a vinyl with this book as well. And this vinyl reads a passage that the kid basically has no idea what it's saying. Like, what's it doing? And this passage opens up a gateway to hell, which unleashes this one demon who comes and terrorizes the house. And unfortunately, the victim number 1 was their mother. Now she is captivated by the demon throughout the whole movie. And it starts this whole chaotic situation, all in this apartment complex, all in this apartment floor. Forget the whole apartment. The apartment's big, like the building. It's all in this floor. And now the family has to survive this demon while the demon is toying with them, talking trash, which I want to get to that in a second. But taking them out one by one, etc. So now the Beth, who was there to see her family to fix a personal issue that she had, now has to figure out how to save her sister that's possessed and her kids in the process of being stuck in this apartment. Because that's another thing. This apartment, they're basically locked in because it's a storm outside. Elevator don't work or nothing. They're basically stuck. Yeah, that's the small story of it. Now, what I want to get to is this. It's something that I love. Evil Dead 2013 did it, and this one did it just the same. I love how Evil Dead, the franchise, can take just a few actors, a small space, and make a great horror film out of it. It feels uptight. It feels personal. It feels Like you can't get out. And I love that. 2013 did that. It was a little swamp area with the house, and that's all the movie was for 95% of the movie. That's how this one was. You were stuck on this floor with whoever was on the floor and this family. With this demon just walking around looking at you. And the question is, where are you going to go? And I love when movies do that. I love how certain horror movies don't need a lot of space to make you terrified, to make you claustrophobic or whatever. I love that. Evil Dead 2013 did that perfectly. And I think this one, Evil Dead Rise, did it just as perfect. I love that. So I want to give credit to them, everybody who made this movie when it comes to that. Another person I want to give credit to is, let me make sure I get her name right, Alyssa Sutherland. If I said the name wrong, I apologize. But it's her. She plays the possessed individual, the sister, the mother. Yeah, her name was Ellie. Man, bro, just like in 2013, those two actresses have to act their butt off. Because you got to have so many different emotions. You got to be kind and considerate, loving in the beginning, and then a whole crazy psychotic demon after you get possessed. That takes work. For it to not be cringe or looks like you're just acting. No, one thing I love about both of these ladies in the 2013 and in the Evil Dead Rise is they're very believable. They really make you feel like there's someone in them. Like the person you just saw in the beginning is not the same. I love that about them. Shout out to both of these ladies. They definitely carry. And I said this before in the 2013 one. When you have such a small cast and you're in a small area, the actors really have to sell it. They really have to. Because you're stuck. The viewers are stuck with these certain ones. So everybody has to do their job, especially the main event, which in Evil Dead is the demon-possessed characters. And yeah, both of them does a heck of a job. Now, Beth, like I said, from Lily Sullivan, she does a great job as well with someone who you could tell. One thing I love about Lily Sullivan was the issues that you noticed in the beginning of the movie that she's dealing with. You know, it weighs on her. And even when she goes sees her family, she misses her family, but she's really there because she needs help. And she really shows that without saying anything. Her eyes definitely sell it. One thing I also loved about it was when the demon possession was happening, and now she has to focus on being the only adult in the house, so she has to protect these kids from the demon possessed person. You could tell she was focused on that, but also still dealing with the weight of, I still got my issues I'm dealing with. And the acting between that, I always pay attention to little nuggets like that, and I loved how Lily Sullivan sold both emotions. I'm here to protect, but man, the weight of the world is on my shoulders for the stuff I'm dealing with. So yeah, shout out to both ladies for it. And one thing that Evil Dead, both movies do well, and Evil Dead 2013 does, and I've noticed it in Rise as well, is those 15, 20 minutes that are nice and calm and it's family together and all that stuff, like the 2013 one, they do a good job in the chemistry between everybody. The kids with the adults with just them. Everybody, they have good chemistry to where you believe this relationship. You believe that they was family. Evil Dead is great at showing you everything that you need to know and make you comfortable with everybody in those 15, 20 minutes because they want to get into the action here, the craziness. This movie is only, I believe, an hour and a half. So I'm glad they don't drag it out, but also make you care. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes here. The possession and being stuck in the house with a demon. How was that? It was excellent. I loved it in this movie. There are some moments I was like, but it's not because of the actress portraying it. But I must say, right off the bat, what was her name again? I always want to give credit. Hold up. Alyssa Sutherland gives a great performance of a demon who's there, who's letting you know that you're not leaving this room. I'm going to mess you up mentally before I destroy you physically. She does that very well with saying nothing. There was moments in this movie where before it really got started, but the kids know and the sister know that something's wrong with her, there's a moment where she just looks at you. And those looks, like there was a moment where she was in the bathroom and the kids and the families out there, they're scared, and she's just walking out of the bathroom into the room, and they're on the right side. There's a moment where she walks out the room and just looks, and she does it so quick. It's, the way she did it, I didn't even give her justice. The way she did it, it really made you feel like, without her saying anything, oh, we're in it. My goodness, we're in for a ride here. And I love that. That's a great actress when you can do that without saying a word. So yeah, it was very gripping. Mommy's with the maggots now, bro. It's those little moments like Evil Dead 2013 that sell it. The way the demons are written, where they're trash talking you, they're talking down on you, they don't care about your feelings. Like there was one moment where the demon was in the house, and one of the daughters, she was trying to get her mom's attention, like, Mom, come on. And the demon's like, it's okay, honey. The daughter's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I'm free. Free from all your titty sucking parasites. It was, it's like, and the voice that they put on because they have her voice and they mix it with this demonic voice. And it was just those little moments to me sell a haunting situation. I love when it can be terrifying without music, without something jump scaring you, even though I do like jump scares, but when it comes to situations like this, without something jump scaring you, it's just a simple transition of attitude. I love y'all so much. Open up now. Like that. Oh, bro, I love those kind of moments. And one thing I did notice that was interesting was near the end, like I said, the devil with the demon possessed character has been trying to mess with them mentally, trying to sweet talk them to do what what the demon wants and all that. Once the characters caught on, the demon realized that it was nothing they could say, the demon could say to trick them. But it was how I never noticed this the first time. There's a scene where the demon is hurt. Like they're actually catching on and beating the demon. And the demon looks at the younger one and says, don't let her take your mommy away from me. And the little kid is like, you're not my mommy anymore. One thing I never noticed it was the camera stays on the demon for a minute and you see this. I love y'all so much. I love how they did that. It was like the demon was like, crap. That can't work. I never noticed how you see even the demon trying to strategize. How can I do this? It wasn't that the demon went in there smarter than everybody. I know what I'm doing. You could tell like, okay, how else can I trick them? How else can I do this? How else can I do that? And it was, like I said, this movie trusts your intelligence to catch stuff. There's a lot of things I noticed in this movie without it telling you. Dude, that's genius to me. Now, there are a couple things I didn't like. It was some of the kills. Especially one in particular. This little spoiler. There's a situation where the demon-possessed lady bites the eye out of somebody. And someone is screaming that lives in the hallway of the apartment. And the demon just spits the eye into the person's throat and the guy dies from choking. That looks so goofy. I ain't gonna front, bro. Seeing that, I was like, that just looked like an SNL skit. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like how goofy that. It was short-lived, but it looked goofy. I ain't gonna front. And also, another thing that I was not a fan of was the ending. I guess you call it monster. There's this certain creature in this demon that happens in the garage, and I wasn't a fan of that. I understand, like, because it's coming from the book, but I guess just how it was. It just looked goofy to me. So, and those two were short-lived, so that didn't mess up my experience of watching the movie. But those two situations, I was just like, especially though the eyeball thing. The eyeball wasn't creepy, it wasn't gross or nothing. It was just goofy. I guess how it was executed was very goofy. But outside of that, I will say Evil Dead does this very well as also opening its movies. The way it opened 2013 is one of the most iconic moments in horror history. And I ain't gonna front. Evil Dead Rise is up there. Evil Dead Rise, it has this scene in the lake house. And it's a scene where the demon's rising over the water and you see Evil Dead Rise, the sign above. That shot, but leading up to it, that was a very memorable opening for a horror movie. I have to say. Is it better than the 2013 one? No, but it's still one of the top echelons of it. I just gotta be real. That I was holding it for near the end because that was one of my. Is it my favorite scene? No, it ain't gonna be my favorite scene in the movie. My favorite scene is all the moments where the demon possessed mother made you feel terrified by saying so little, but the way she looked at you and walked around the house, and the way those little trash talking moments that she had. I don't know why I feel like I just feel icky when she do it. She does it so well. Dude, the way she was talking, sharing these stories, talking trash to them, or even just walking around the house and just look at you. There was a moment, little spoiler, where I loved it. The sister, the demon possessed sister, was messing with the other sister. Right, she was doing something. I don't want to spoil what she was actually doing. And the sister, she found a screwdriver, and the demon possessed sister was trying to let her know something. She's doing all this stuff, and the sister ignored her and just stabbed her in the neck with the screwdriver. The way the demon looked at her, it was like she was insulted. The demon looked at her like she was doing something, and the sister stabbed her. She looked. It was a look like, did you just interrupt me as I was talking? That was awesome. And then you see the demon possessed the girl throw her sister out the room. Just that transition, she was doing this, stab. Did you just do that? I love those little moments. That was my favorite in the movie. As I said, the two sisters really sold it for me. But yeah, when it comes to openings, Evil Dead Rise is up there to one of the best. Now, to end it, is Evil Dead better than Evil Dead Rise, or is vice versa, or are they equal? Evil Dead is the best out of the two. 2013 is better than Evil Dead Rise. By a lot? No. But I gave Evil Dead a 10 out of 10. That was the perfect horror movie. There was nothing goofy. There was nothing stalling. There was nothing. That was the perfect horror movie. Evil Dead Rise is an amazing horror movie. So it's still really good. I would give Evil Dead, if I had to put a score, because I don't usually do scores, but if I had to compare, Evil Dead is a 10 out of 10. Evil Dead Rise is an 8 out of 10. Due to some moments, like the goofy kill moment and then the ending battle with the monster, I just was not a fan of that. Thank God everything else was amazing to where it doesn't lower the points that much. But that ending battle and the kill with the eyeball was just not for me. So yeah, I would say 8 out of 10 for Evil Dead Rise and then 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead franchise. That's actually, now thinking about it, one of my best horror franchises ever. I always say Insidious and Conjuring are up there, my Mount Rushmore. Evil Dead, I might have to put up there. I watched a lot of horror. I'm talking about franchises as like all the movies. Yeah, Evil Dead's up there as 3. I don't know who's the 4th one yet. I still have to watch all the Terrifiers. That's one thing I missed. I watched the 2nd and 3rd one. I thought I watched the 1st one, but then I realized, no, I watched the short that came out. So I got to check that out. But anyway, thank y'all so much for day 4. I'll see you tomorrow.